Hello there and welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be reviewing Series 1 slash Series 14 Episode 4 of Doctor Who, and that is 73 Yards. So let's get into it. So what did I think of this episode? Well, I really liked it. I know there's been like a big split down the fandom on whether people like it or hate it. I do like it, but it's one of those episodes where like I don't know why I like it. It's a bit like Sleep No More. I love the concept, and I like it, but I don't know like why I like it. If you get what I mean. Usually how I do these reviews is I watch the episode when it comes out, and I just enjoy the episode, enjoy the plot and stuff like that, and then shortly before I film this review that you're watching, I watch the episode again, maybe take some notes on stuff that happened, stuff that I liked, stuff that I didn't like, and then make it into a video. But this one, I was really confused, but I also really enjoyed it, which you can't say many Doctor Who episodes can make you feel that way. So we'll just say what I did like. Millie Gibson's acting in this, I think, is great. I know that for the first block of filming, Shooter Getwell was hardly there because he was off filming. I can't remember if it was Barbie or Sex Education, one of those two. But he was filming one of those, and to like carry an episode without your main, arguably your main lead actor, I think you really have to sort of like have something special about you, which I definitely think Millie Gibson has. I think she's a phenomenal actress. I mean, I'd saw her a little bit in Coronation Street before Doctor Who, but she really does get to flex her acting muscles in this episode. I think the emotional range that she can perform is great. One of my highlight scenes is between Ruby and Carla, I think her name is, Ruby's adoptive mum, is when that mysterious figure tried to identify by calling her, and then she ran away, and that slow motion pan of Ruby's face when Carla was in the taxi was it gave me chills, like the sense that everyone in her immediate family, in her world, has turned upside down. Everyone has turned against her. Was really impactful, and I definitely think that is definitely one of my big scares. If what if everyone suddenly turns against you and it's no longer likes you, is no longer with you? I think that is definitely one of my big fears, and probably a lot of other people's fears. Also, as well, we got to see Susan Twist again, and it wasn't just a background character this time. We actually had some interaction with Ruby, and I feel like she's starting to recognise her, because she went, "Oh, weren't you the one?" And then realising that was century years in the future, or 60 years in the past. So she did recognise her, but didn't sort of fully recognise her. And also, another thing I loved is the cafe scene with Kate Lethbridge Stewart. I think Gemma Redgrave's acting is absolutely amazing, as always. This episode is definitely one of her strongest performances that I think she's done with the character. I loved the scene where she sort of explains that the figure can't be viewed, when they took a photo with their best camera, even up close, it always remains sort of blurry, which I thought it was just my bad eyesight that I couldn't make out her face. You could only see two black dots and a vague resemblance vague resemblance of a face. I thought it was just my bad eyesight, but no, it turns out it was meant to be like it was always like they're always 73 yards away, which I think is genius on Russell's part. And another thing that I'm really glad that Russell did was that he didn't reveal the words that the woman later revealed to be Ruby, that what she said to all the people that she spoke to make them run away. Like, I think that was more impactful than like actually saying the words, because I feel like if we could just like imagine like what would make our relatives run away from us, I think that was more impactful than actually saying it. Like, what could be so bad that your own mother runs away from you, or like your best friend runs away from you? I think that made it a lot more impactful. Also as well, the bit we did see of Ncuti, I thought he was great too, explaining the sort of like thing on the Welsh cliff, and for a moment I thought it looked like the scene where Jodie Whittaker regenerated on, like where the TARDIS lands. It kind of looked like the same cliff, but obviously it wasn't. Also as well, I love the sort of atmosphere of the episode, sort of like the eerie woman constantly following Ruby. Sort of reminded me of the Watcher from Tom Baker's last story, Logopolis, which I hope that concept does get explored in the future, because it's just such a creepy thing, like a figure just in the background of your life constantly, like sort of like watching you but never interacting with you. I think that that's like really creepy. And obviously I think this was the first ever time in Doctor Who history, or probably the second, where we didn't have a title sequence. Now, when I first saw the title of the episode come up, I thought, okay, something serious is about to happen, because I think they've only ever done it in The Woman Who Fell to Earth, which that felt a bit strange, but yeah. So I don't know how I felt about it, but yeah, I could kind of cope with it if it got used sparingly. I wouldn't want it to happen like once every series. Now on to a couple of things that I didn't like. I didn't like how sort of the political side of the episode, where I think it's like Roger Ap Williams, something like that bit came out of nowhere. It was like a throwaway line at the start of the episode, then suddenly it came out of nowhere. I would have maybe liked to have seen a bit more hints leading up to it in the flashbacks, but I just thought it like came out of nowhere, and I thought it was slightly underdeveloped. Maybe if they stretched this episode from around 50 minutes to an hour, maybe that would have allowed extra time to develop the character of him, and like why he's so evil. He didn't really have like a motive of why he wanted to do it, not from like what I could see anyway. But I did like the sort of political thing. I thought the way Ruby defeated him was genius. I really didn't see that coming. Also, another thing I didn't like is I didn't like the aging effect of Ruby. Millie Gibson's like, 19, 20 years old? So she obviously looks very young, but I feel like they could have done a lot better de-aging, like makeup on Millie Gibson to make her look a lot older than she actually is. Like they've proved that they can do really good aging prosthetics, like in The Girl Who Waited, or something like that, The Woman Who Waited, where Karen Gillan got aged up and you had the two Amys. Also as well in Time of the Doctor, where you had the sort of de-aged Matt Smith and then the fully long grey hair. So it has been proved that it can be done. I don't know why they didn't choose it. I did like some of the time jumps, like when Ruby had like long hair. I thought that suited her really well, and it reminded me sort of like a 1950s, 60s look. Also, another thing is that something I liked was the scene where the figure turned around to face old Ruby and the sort of like heart monitor started to like sort of stop. I thought that was really good. Maybe I thought that she might have died at that point, but it turns out she sort of like became the old woman stalking Ruby. I didn't really get how that happened and how she ended up at that cliff top. I wasn't really sure how, and from what I could tell, it wasn't explained in the episode. Maybe if one of you noticed it, try and let me know in the comments below. But from what I could see, it wasn't really explained well. But I also loved the scenes in like the Welsh village, in the Welsh pub. I thought that was really good, and the background characters, I don't know if they all had names, but you could see like them all reacting to each other, like all reacting to the legend and like giggling at Ruby, which I thought was great, and sort of like extra world building and not just sort of like being deadpanned when the camera isn't on you. And I think that's a very hard skill to master. But overall, I feel like this was a really good episode and probably my favourite of season 1 so far. I hope there isn't too many other Dr. Light episodes without Ncuti anyway. Maybe Dot and Bubble might be. By the time I post this, it would have already came out. But as of recording, it's not yet. But I feel like this is an episode people are gonna like come back to and revisit maybe on Halloween or something. But I watched on my second viewing, I watched it at night, and it was a lot scarier, a lot more atmospheric. Like at night time, curtains drawn, no lights on, a lot more scary, and I definitely think that maybe you should try that out because it really does send shivers down your spine. So that's it for this review. Let me know what you think of this episode in the comment section down below, and hit the like button and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!